बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान, तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी। या मौला, तेरी तौफीक के बगैर this sessions, this classes, this endeavor is not possible. Hey Maulai Mehrban, please help us. Please help us. Please stay with us. Please stay close to us so we may be able to deliver, we may be able to understand, we may be able to digest your ilm ala, the most highest ilm. As you know, we are not capable, we don't deserve this ilm, Mola, but your mercy is much, much greater than us, for which we are thankful to you, Mola. We are shukr guzar to you, Mola. Ya Ali Allah, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola. We do have some question which we will inshallah answer, or will try to answer at the end of the session. And then if we have more question, we can also take them. For first 20-30 minutes, what I like to do, with your permission, to summon up, to finish, to bring our chapter to a conclusion, which we had started a couple of Sundays ago, the concept of totality. Concept of totality. Today we will add one more concept to this and see if we understand concept of totality with concept of oneness. The word mono-reality, mono-reality, the single reality, एक tasawwur. So we will connect this two, because you have heard in Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, has used a unique word in his time, and the word was mono-reality. The concept of mono-reality in Quran is used by one single word, that is nafs-e wahida, and our current Imam, Imam Shah Karim al-Husaini Hazir Imam Salawatullah alayhi, on many an occasion has used word nafs-e wahida. This word comes from Quran, from Surah Nisa, ayat number 1, in which Allah says that I have made all of you from one single soul. हमने आप तमाम को एक ही नफ्स वाहिदा से बनाया है. In the eyes of Al-Zahir, they would explain this ayat, that all of us were made with Adam, in which Allah has blown his soul into. and from that one single soul हम सब दुनिया में पैदा हो गए. The ayat goes further कि from this single soul he made his mate. And ALWAAZ will say आदम से हवा को पैदा किया. And then ayat goes, and from them I have made all the male and females. And that is the concept in front of ALWAAZ. चूंकि हम अहले बातिन हैं, we accept their theory, but then we go a little bit further. We go a little bit further. Because physically, if Adam was one, a male, how did he made his own mate? उसने अपनी बीवी को किस तरह से बनाया? How did he made Hawa? And that's where ALWAAZ will stop, and their knowledge will stop, and their answer will stop. And it requires a tawil. It requires an understanding of the batin of the Quranic verses. May Ali Allah be with us, so we may understand this tawilat, this higher understanding of the batin. Physically, Adam was already present there. And in this ayat, when Allah talk about that I have made all of you with one soul, that included the Adam, Hawa, and all the people already. लेकिन जब आदम ने एक अपनी हवा बनाई, अपनी मेट बनाई, वहां पर तावील की जरूरत पड़ती है. For example, and this is just an example, so we may understand, कि जब एक आदमी, एक मोमिन, एक आबिद, an example Adam, completes his Isme Azam, completes his Ruhaniyat, then Allah blows his Nur, his soul, into him, and he becomes spiritually alive. And when he is spiritually alive, he can make others alive just like him. तो यहां पर जो मेट का वर्ड है, हवा का जो वर्ड है, वो उसके शागिर्दों की तरफ इशारा है, his followers की तरफ इशारा है, कि उसने फिर अपने लिए, और यहां पर it looks like he's talking about one single mate, one single companion, लेकिन एक्चुअली यहां पर शागिर्दों की बात हो रही है कि उसने अपने शागिर्द पैदा कर दिए, क्योंकि वो खुद जिंदा था, चूंकि इसके पास खुद खुदावन ताला का नूर और रूह थी, तो उसने अपने शागिर्द बनाए, और उन दोनों ने मिलकर और बहुत सारे मर्द और औरत बनाए. क्या बनाए? What did they do together? They made lot of students, lot of followers. In our Hudud book, our Hujjat and Dai's books, you will also find this understanding and tawil of this ayat. That this ayat is talking about Imam and Hujjat, a Peer. Imam makes his mate a Peer, and them together, the Imam and the Peer, Imam and the Hujjat, they make lot of followers. As we see in our Indo-Pak tradition, as we see in Pir Nasir Khusro tradition, Imam made his mate, his Pir, his Hujjat, and with the hukum, with the amr, with the farman of the Imam of the time, those Pirs and Hujjatan made lot of Ismailis, lot of followers. So you see how it requires a higher understanding or higher interpretation of an ayat. How do we understand this compared to al-Zahir? Because we have the living Imam and the living Nur of Allah with us. He gives us this tawilat, sometime directly and sometime indirectly. It is him who does the tawil at the highest level. And then he brings that tawil to whomever he wishes, and then it goes down and down and down to others as people are willing to listen, learn, and understand. Why am I talking about this ayat when our subject is the concept or the principle of totality, and today we're going to or the principle of oneness? Just as in the beginning there was only one, and then it became two, and then became all of us. From the oneness came a multiplication. From the oneness it came multiplication. And one of the Imam's farman, Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to the Imam, is one of the Baitul Khayal Nurani farman, in which he says कि अगर आपको हमारे पास आना है तो पहले आप आपस में एक दिल हो जाओ. If you want to reach the Nur, then you become one amongst yourself first. Imam put that condition. So from one we became multiple, and to go back to him in this life, the condition is to first become one. Now there comes the question. I mean, we are different people from different background, different culture, different professional lives, different homes, different families, different thoughts. How do we become one? Our opinions and our thoughts are different. And Mullah has given us a farman of that too. In diversity is our strength. क्योंकि हम अलग अलग हैं और यही हमारी ताकत है. Because we are different, we can think differently. We can think differently But it's not that you are right and I'm right. You are right in your place, I'm right in my place. And that's why Imam again said कि किसी और मजहब की गीला गिबत ना करो और ना ही अपने दीन भाई की. And Hazrat Imam in current Jama says that explain to them once, explain to them twice, and then leave them to their own shallow thoughts. ये अंदर के लोगों के लिए भी है और ये बाहर के लोगों के लिए भी है. Within us, we will explain once, we will explain twice. If one believes, then he or she believes. If one does not believe, then he and she has a right to not believe and be on her own, and which is perfectly fine. But if we as a collective people, as a Jamaat, as a group, wanted to reach the highest level of the knowledge, the highest level of Rohaniyat, highest level of understanding, then what do? We work with each other, we help each other, and whoever is the weak, we help them. Whoever is the strong must help others. And that's why we are here today. We are here to pull each other upward toward the highest understanding. Acha, back to our subject. So at the beginning we were one, a single soul. Then we went into multiple souls. And to go back, we must be collectively together as one. At the one level, we may be at the level of the, whatever the lowest level possible, but with each other's help, we can push each other to go to the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. Today, we may be at the, Shariat level, or Tariqat level, or Hakikat level. Then we get to the, inshallah, level of Marifat. और अगर हम आज इल्मुल यकीन की लेवल पर है, टुमारो हम ऐनुल यकीन की लेवल पर जाएंगे और इंशाल्लाह एक दिन हक्कुल यकीन की लेवल पर जाएंगे. If today we are at the level of certainty of the knowledge, then we will be at the certainty of I, meaning everything that we have learned with the knowledge, we will see it. We will see it in our mushahida, in our vision, in our dream, in our ruhaniyat. Everything that we have learned. And then one day, inshallah, we will become one with this knowledge, one with our ruhaniyat, and one with the Imam. And here comes the concept of principle of totality. Imam एक भी है, Imam is one, और Imam सब कुछ भी है. He is total in one. वो एक भी है और सब भी है. इमाम अपनी जगह पर एक भी है और इमाम हम सब की रूह भी है. इमाम एक जिस्म रखता है लेकिन उसके अंदर we are all encompassed, all of our soul. Listen to the example so it may help us understand this concept. How is Imam one and he is total? How are we all within the Imam? And at the end, we may have wanted to see, were we ever out of Imam? Example of the Imam is sun. An example of the mu'mineen is sunlight. When in the morning sun comes out and sheds all its sunlight on the earth. So from the one side, all the sun ray is on the earth, millions and billions of them. But at the other end, at the highest end, they are all collectively in the sun. Imam is the Noor, Imam is the sun, Imam is the ocean from which all of the sun ray, all of the human have come down to this earth. And it looks like we are 1, we are 100, we are 1,000, we are million, and we are 7 billion. But on the highest level, at the end of the day, when sun goes down, all the sun rays are back into the sun. So जब हम इस दुनिया से चले जाते हैं, at the end of our day, we become one with our origin, which is the Imam, and that's how Imam is Wakulle Sha'in. Everything is in him. And we only talked about at the highest level of the human soul. The Imam is that one single soul from which we were all made. And at the end, we will all return back to him. Now, how fast do we return back to him? Then Imam has given us the conditions. That if we become one and we do good deeds, we do our ibadat, we do our understanding and increase our ranks, enhance our ranks. So again, let's take another example of the steps and a ladder. So Imam is on the, let's say, a level of 8. And we are Mu'mineen, which has no level, no rank. We are at 0. Then, as soon as we say that I don't know anything and I wanted to learn, I wanted to understand my Imam, I wanted to understand my tariqah, I wanted to be one with the Imam of the time. As soon we say that, Imam gives us the first step, the rank of a mustajib. Now a mu'min is on his way, he has stepped on Sirat al-Mustaqim. He was sitting on Rasta, on Sirat al-Mustaqim probably, but never got up and said, I wanted to walk. But at this fine moment, he said, I wanted to get closer and closer to the Noor of the Imam. So he got up and he started walking. And he got up and he got to the first step toward the Imam, become Mustajib. And he started learning. And he started doing his ibadat. Remember, the knowledge, the ilm, and the ibadat, the action is together. A person who sits on sideline is like example of a person who's sitting on a road and think, one day this Sirat al-Mustaqim which will take me to the Imam. No. You need to first understand that you have to get up and take your first step. on that ladder, on that step. And then you have to walk on it. It's not that you take the first step and then you stop. What was our first step? We said we wanted to learn. What was our first step? We said, Ya Mola, give us Isme Azam, we will do the ibadat. That was our first step. Now we have to take the second step. Bring that understanding and bring that Isme Azam into practice. So whatever we are learning, if we do not apply that to ourselves and practice, then where will we be? We will be standing on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, even on the first step, but that's it. Remember, Imam is on the 8th level. So we get from Mustajib to Mazun, Mazun-e-Mutallaq, to Da'i, Da'i-e-Mutallaq, to Hujjat, Hujjat-e-Azam, and then comes the Imam. These are the doors, these are the steps to the Imam. And now, inshallah, in a minute or two, we will understand how we all going to become one. Because I use the word, these are the doors and the steps. So, if we are at the step 1, we just enter into a door, the door of a Mustajib. Then all of the Mustajib, all of us, when we take the second step, we will enter the door and get to the second step. We will enter into Mazun, and we will enter into Mazun-e-Mutallaq, and then we will take the next step. We will get into the Da'i, and we will take the one more step. We will enter another door. You can see, as we are entering these steps, we are entering these doors, we are all becoming one with somebody. We are becoming one with somebody. So if we are standing at the first level, and when we get to the second level, we all become one in our mind, in our understanding, in our belief with the second person. We are all one now in him. And then let's say there are a lot of us on second level. When we enter the third level, we enter the door into the Mustajib-e-Mutallaq, Mazun-e-Mutallaq, and we enter into him. And we become one until we reach all the way to the Imam. And when we are in front of the Imam, inshallah, we all will be one single soul. And we will enter into the original single soul, the Imam of the time. तो एक तरफ से we are different, we are in quantity, but when it comes to our soul, we were made from one single soul, and only way we can go back to him, which is the single soul originally, then we all need to move forward and hold on to each other and push each other into the higher level, ताकि हम सब मिलकर उस मकाम पर पहुंच सके. And it requires lot of knowledge and lot of practice. So one of the other example, and we have all heard of this example of the Miraj. That when Prophet Muhammad was going into the Miraj with Jibreel, when he reaches the 6th heaven, Jibreel says, I cannot go any further. The next step you need to take on your own. You need to go on your own. You think that Muhammad had left his friend, his angel, his Jibreel on the 6th level and then went into the 7th level? Or did he merge into him. यानी कि वो दोनों एक हो गए. The Jibreel and the Muhammad became one, and with that one single entity, one single soul, they present themselves into the huzur of Allah, into the Imam. क्योंकि वहां जाने के लिए हमको एक होना पड़ेगा. That's what Muhammad did. That was the example that he left for us to follow. So principle of totality, which is the Imam. Now, how do we apply that to ourselves? Because we are at the principle of single soul as well. So when Imam comes into you, when Imams become alive in you, and Imam can become alive in you on 3 different levels. You have taken the first level, first step, to bring Imam into you by remembering him. By remembering him. Whenever you remember him, whenever you call on him, his partu, his manifestation, his shadow comes into your heart. It becomes live in your heart. And when Imam is live in your heart, you have taken the first step by remembering him. The more you do that, the more practice you do of remembering him. And Alhamdulillah, Imam has given us opportunity today. We don't have very much to do today, but to remember him. And I hope we are taking the advantage of this opportunity today, of remembering him more and more and more. And then he gave us another opportunity of this ilm, of this understanding. And I see some or most are paying attention to this knowledge. They are making notes, they are sharing notes, they are helping each other, and some are not. Free will is yours. I cannot, no one can push you from one level to the next level. It is in your hand. If we don't do this today, we will lose this opportunity. We will lose this breath, a day, a minute, an hour, which is never ever coming back. And at the end, on the last day, we will be sad and sorry that we did not take the advantage when we had the opportunity and when we had the time. And if you don't understand, you can directly or indirectly ask. Go to your colleagues, go to your person next to you, or with the group. Come to us directly. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get to the next level. Acha. So, the principle of totality and principle of oneness. I think we understand this clearly now. That even when we say Imam has everything encompassed in him, the principle is one in all and all in one. Please write it down. One in all and all in one. Imam हम सब में भी है और हम सब इमाम में भी है. Imam is in all of us and all of us are in Imam. That's how principle of totality and that's how principle of oneness works. Inshallah. So let me stop here. So if we have any question or comments, we can take that. And then we have a question from the Farman. Matter of fact, we have received 2 questions similarly and we will talk about both of them together, combinedly.